You know, there are two stories specifically that drive me crazy and keep me up at night because I feel like I can never do enough to cover all of the horror, right? And of course, I'm talking about the genocide in Gaza being perpetrated by Israel. Trump did a fucking fake peace deal. Israel continued the genocide. They're going to steal all of Gaza. They're going to try to steal the entire West Bank. They're going to finish the genocide and do an ethnic cleansing. It's happening right in front of our eyes. And I feel like you can never say enough about it. You can never cover it enough. And that shit is just fucking soul crushing. Watching that happen and watching the world sort of casually allow it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. That's one of the stories that keeps me up. The other story that keeps me up is ICE in the U.S. Trump basically created his own Gestapo and unleashed them to do Gestapo things. And we still have idiots in this country pretending like that's not the case, pretending like this is serious, real law enforcement doing law enforcement stuff. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And so I got some more updates for you here. Take a look at this. So first, let's start with this video released by Ed Markey. And he's talking about a specific case where an ICE agent gets told somebody's an American and goes, I don't care. Watch.
Get out. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't care. You're a U.S. citizen.
Did you hear that? I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't care.
That was a video of Christian Jimenez, a 17-year-old high school student who was detained by ICE during his lunch break last Friday. When he told the officers he was a United States citizen, they broke the window and detained him anyways, saying, I don't care, you're a citizen. The Trump administration has unleashed masked ICE agents into our communities. They are violently abducting our friends and our neighbors, young people who have committed no crime. We saw it in Massachusetts when Marcelo Gomes da Silva was detained on his way to volleyball practice in Milford. And we saw it again last week when a Babson College student named Amy was surrounded, handcuffed, and deported on her way home to visit her parents in Texas. We are no longer just on the path to authoritarianism. We are living in that world, and we must continue to resist it each and every day. End the ICE abductions, end Trump's campaign of fear, end fascism now.
So that's incredible. How many examples have there been of, hey, I'm an American citizen, I don't care. Hey, here's some documents proving I'm an American citizen, I don't care. It's happening all the time, and the reason it's happening is because Stephen Miller yelled at all the ICE agents and said, hey, assholes, you need to up the arrest numbers. I don't care how the fuck you do it, but you're going to do it. Raid the meat packing facility, raid the 7-Eleven, raid the Home Depot and the hair salons. You better do it. They literally disband a bunch of the agencies that were specifically going after drug cartels, specifically going after human traffickers and fredophiles. They disband those agencies and said, get to the fucking Home Depot. Go get the day laborers, bitch. And they definitely have quotas in terms of arrests. And so they're forcing them to do these arrests to the point where people go, I'm an American citizen. Look, I can prove it. I don't care. You're coming with me. Fucking disgusting. Well, here you have Adelita Grijalva, and that name may sound familiar to you. The reason it probably sounds familiar is because, ladies and gentlemen, it was not that long ago that Mike Johnson was refusing to sit Adelita Grijalva because she would be the 218th vote guaranteeing the release of the Epstein files. And that is fucking exactly what happened. She got in there. She was the 218th vote. And Mike Johnson was trying to do Trump's bidding and not release those Epstein files, so they stalled. Well, here's Adelita Grijalva, and she and her friends get fucking pepper sprayed by ICE. This is a congresswoman. Watch.
Watch out.
You see that? Guy comes in to help her cover her eyes because knowing this guy's shooting pepper spray. Watch out. Look at this fucking thug casually shooting people in the face with fucking pepper spray like it's nothing. Bitch, that's like 6 lawsuits waiting to happen, you fat fuck. That's what that is. They're just criminals. Like, these are just criminals who are signing up to be the Gestapo and to round up brown people. They're just criminals. They can't pass the most basic tests. They know nothing about the Constitution. They know nothing about due process. One guy showed up, was like over 400 pounds. Another guy showed up and said, I got to go to court for a gun charge. Can I go? This is crazy. But again, it's ideological screening. They want to make sure you're hardcore MAGA. That's all they care about. If you're a white nationalist, if you're a Proud Boy, if you're a criminal, doesn't matter. Welcome. You're a domestic abuser, don't give a shit. Welcome.
Put it down! Fast one! Put it down!
out of the way. Take Bessie to clear now.
They just shot the pepper balls at her feet. Jesus Christ. Is that tear gas? Jesus Christ, man. This is a sitting congresswoman. It's a sitting congresswoman. I got another one for you. ICE detain U.S. citizen for 24 hours, mock Somali woman's hijab, and touch her inappropriately. Quote, she was pleading with them, but they ended up sexually assaulting her, said her cousin. Let's watch.
A U.S. citizen born in Edina spent a night in jail after ICE agents arrested her in downtown Minneapolis this week.
And this is according to the victim's cousin, who says the agents also mocked the Somali woman's hijab and touched her inappropriately. Now, our Mike Manzoni spoke with the woman's cousin this afternoon. And, Mike, I understand that it took more than 24 hours for the feds to release her. Is that it?
Tim and Karen, her cousin, says she spent a night in jail in Elk River after agents picked her up near Nicollet Mall on Wednesday. He says that she was out running an errand when multiple ICE agents jumped out of two cars and then zip-tied her. She's too shaken up to speak publicly, but her cousin, who didn't want to show his face because of his own immigration status, told us what happened.
Pleading with them, but they ended up sexually assaulting her and saying, like, what could you be hiding under your hijab and stuff like that. And then they even made a joke saying this would be the wrong attire to try and run away from us. And I feel upset. Obviously, it brings me a lot of anxiety and stress because this is my family. And I mean, I call Minnesota home.
And her cousin says they let her go only after her husband showed them her passport card proving that she's a citizen. The cousin works as a paralegal at a Golden Valley law firm. His boss is an immigration attorney. She is not representing the woman here, but says what happened is troubling.
It's concerning for a number of reasons. First and foremost, ICE doesn't have jurisdiction over United States citizens. So for them to detain a U.S. citizen for over 24 hours at a detention facility for no reason is truly terrifying. It's the kind of thing that we see happening in third world countries and authoritarian governments.
And we've reached out to ICE for comment, but a spokeswoman told us that she could not comment without more information.
Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. How about this one from Kyle Cheney? It happened again. The Trump administration has admitted illegally deporting a man to Guatemala despite an immigration judge's order that he was likely to be tortured there. A judge has ordered the administration to facilitate his return by next week. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. They're sending people to Eswatini. They're sending people to Libya, which is a failed state with open slave markets. They're sending people there who don't fucking speak the language. As you all know, they sent 288 people to El Salvador to a concentration camp where a bunch of them got raped and tortured. There's detailed reporting on that. They would literally cut their hands to get blood and write desperate messages into their fucking white sheets. That's how horrific it was. That's how horrific it was. You think they care? That this guy, hey, we know he's going to get tortured. You think that, I guess we can't send him. They don't give a fuck. These are sadists. If there's one thing that connects the entire MAGA movement, the entire right wing, the entire Republican side of the aisle, it is sadism. They are sadists. They take joy in the pain of others. That's what it is. There's honestly no way around it. How about this? They are canceling naturalization ceremonies now. This isn't about illegal immigration. It's about legal immigration. One step from citizenship, some find it eludes their grasp. There's a New York Times piece. So, canceling naturalization ceremonies. So, in other words, these are people who've followed the process perfectly. They're getting to the point where they're going to become Americans, and they go, fuck that. We're going to go ahead and not allow that. Why? Because, again, it's not about legal versus illegal immigration. And now you're having some right-wing pundits are being more honest and more upfront and more straightforward. I heard Steven Crowder and Nick Fuentes both say it the other day. No, it's about legal immigrants, too. We're against illegal immigrants, too. So, I wonder what the problem is to these people. In their more honest moments, they will tell you they're not white. We want more white people. That's why do you think it is the Trump regime rounding up all these innocent brown people trying to deport them? They made one exception for immigrants and refugees they want coming into the country. They want white Afrikaners from South Africa. That's what they want. Bring in the rich white assholes from South Africa. That's it. So it's very clear. They want to create a white nationalist country. Fuck the brown people, fuck the black people, get them out of here. They're the problem. Blame them for your problems. Scapegoat them for your problems. I mean, it's very obvious. It's very straightforward. So now they dropped the facade. It used to be, oh no, we're pro-legal immigration, but we're against illegal immigration. Well, here are the legal immigrants, and you're trying to fuck them over too, aren't you? Aren't you? How about this? The State Department is going to deny visas to fact checkers and others, citing censorship. So here's what NPR says. The State Department is instructing its staff to reject visa applications from people who work on fact-checking, content moderation, or other activities like Trump administration the Trump administration considers censorship of American speech. The directive sent in an internal memo on Tuesday is focused on applicants for H-1B visas for highly skilled workers, which are frequently used by tech companies, among other sectors. The memo was first reported by Reuters. NPR also obtained a copy. Quote, if you uncover evidence an applicant was responsible for or complicit in censorship or attempted censorship of protected expression in the United States, you should pursue a finding that the applicant is ineligible for a visa, the memo says. It refers to a policy announced by Secretary of State Marco Rubio in May restricting visas from being issued to foreign officials and persons who are complicit in censoring Americans. By the way, I have something I need to submit to you guys. I found who's censoring Americans. His name is Donald Trump. I found the political movement censoring Americans. They're called MAGA. They got 600 people fired for making a joke about Charlie Kirk and quoting Charlie Kirk. They got a bunch of people fired for that. Donald Trump was rounding up people who wrote op-eds critical of Israel as they committed a genocide, deported their asses too. They literally deported some people who said things about Charlie Kirk. Deported them. He's suing media outlets for writing things he doesn't like. It doesn't get more anti-free speech, doesn't get more pro-censorship than that. But if you're coming in this country and you do fact-checking, it's so insane. It is a war on real journalism. It is a war on real fact-finding. It's a war on the truth. They are waging a war on the truth, and they're doing it right in front of our eyes. People need to wake up. They need to wake up and take this for what it is. The authoritarianism and the fascism has spiraled out of control. It is very clear what the end goal is. They're doing everything they can to bring about a white nationalist country. They're doing everything they can to destroy the Constitution and the First Amendment. They never meant it when they virtue signaled like they were pro-free speech. What they meant was, we want to be the censors. We do. We're tired of the Democrats and the liberals and the leftists getting Ben Shapiro deplatformed from a college speech. So we're going to crusade like we're pro-First Amendment and Constitution. Turns out you're not at all. Turns out you just wanted to be the censors. So congratulations. You now have the censorship ability and you're running fucking wild, but you're destroying any legitimacy your movement may have had. It's over. It's done. It's gone. Everybody sees you for what you are. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.